Introduction. Hello everyone, and welcome to our channel where we bring to you some of the most fascinating stories from around the world. Today, we will be sharing with you the fairy tale story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. This is a timeless story that has captivated audiences for generations, and we are excited to share it with you today. The story begins. Once upon a time, in a far-off kingdom, there lived a beautiful and kind-hearted princess named Snow White. She was loved by all who knew her, except for her wicked stepmother, who was jealous of her beauty and kindness. One day, while admiring herself in the mirror, the wicked stepmother asked the mirror, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror replied, "You, my queen, are the fairest in the land." But one day, the mirror replied, "Snow White, my queen, is the fairest in the land." This angered the queen, and she ordered her huntsman to take Snow White into the forest and kill her. However, the huntsman took pity on Snow White and let her go, warning her never to return to the kingdom again. Snow White in the forest. Lost and alone in the forest, Snow White stumbled upon a small cottage. Inside, she found 7 little beds and 7 little chairs. She ate some food and fell asleep in one of the beds. When the 7 dwarfs who lived in the cottage returned home, they were surprised to find Snow White sleeping in one of their beds. After Snow White told them her story, the dwarfs took pity on her and allowed her to stay with them. In exchange, Snow White agreed to cook and clean for them. They lived happily together, but Snow White's stepmother was not happy. The queen's plan. The wicked queen decided to take matters into her own hands and disguised herself as an old peddler woman. She visited the cottage when the 7 dwarfs were away and offered Snow White a poisoned apple. Snow White took a bite of the apple and fell into a deep sleep. The dwarfs returned home to find Snow White lying motionless on the floor. They realized that she had been poisoned and placed her in a glass coffin. They kept watch over her day and night, hoping that one day a prince would come to wake her from her deep sleep. The prince's arrival. One day, a prince was riding through the forest when he came across the cottage. He saw Snow White lying in the glass coffin and fell in love with her at first sight. The prince asked the dwarfs if he could take Snow White to his castle, and they agreed. As the prince's servants were carrying Snow White's glass coffin, one of them tripped and dropped it. This dislodged the piece of apple from Snow White's throat, and she woke up from her deep sleep. The prince and Snow White fell in love, and they got married in a grand ceremony. The happy ending. Snow White and the prince lived happily ever after, and the 7 dwarfs visited them often. As for the wicked stepmother, she was punished for her evil deeds and was never seen again. The symbolism in the story. The story of Snow White and the 7 dwarfs is not just a fairy tale. It is also rich in symbolism. The 7 dwarfs, for instance, are said to represent the 7 virtues of Christian theology: humility, diligence, charity, patience, kindness, temperance, and chastity. These virtues are essential for leading a good and righteous life, and the story teaches us that by embracing them, we can live a fulfilling life. Furthermore, the wicked stepmother represents the negative side of human nature, such as jealousy, vanity, and greed. Her obsession with beauty and power ultimately leads to her downfall. The story warns us about the dangers of succumbing to negative emotions and the importance of embracing kindness and compassion. Conclusion. In conclusion, the story of Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs is a timeless classic that teaches us valuable lessons about life. It teaches us the importance of kindness, compassion, and the dangers of negative emotions such as jealousy and vanity. The story also reminds us of the power of true love and the importance of surrounding ourselves with good people. We hope you enjoyed listening to this story as much as we enjoyed sharing it with you. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating stories from around the world. Thank you for watching.